how dry everything has gotten, and we're only in the middle of June. Lake Oroville is dried up, Anderson is dried up because of repair work, and the percolation pits in Campbell here are threatening being dried up also, as there is nothing coming down this creek here, which is usually what fills the water up through this gate here. And it goes into the pond, and then from there it circulates into the next pond. But as you can see, this one is empty, and this one is the middle of the three has water in it, but none is coming in, it looks like, and it's getting lower and lower and lower. So gosh, I don't really know what's going to be happening here, but I think we're in more of a drought situation than anybody plays to be at this point, and we may wildlife and sanctuaries may be suffering from it, and I hope not. You can see the third one, or the largest one, it's out there in the way distance there. It's got water in it, but it too is low, probably about 3 feet low right now, 4 feet low, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when it comes down to surface area and amount of cubic acre feet of water there, that's a big difference. Glad to see the ducks are out and enjoying. Several weeks ago, before I ended up with this foot problem that I now have to deal with for a while, and it's getting better, but it's taken its time. But maybe a month or so ago, there was water flowing at this gate here, and from there it was going across under here and over. Let's see if we can see where it would come out. Yep, there's the pipe that it comes out at. Well, it did come out at, and you can see how far down that water is from where, maybe you can't, but it's a good 4 or 5 feet below that where the water level actually is. And so it's a bit scary unless they start letting some more water out of Lexington, which is where this comes from. They may not, I don't know. But these will dry up, and then what? I don't know. Between the middle pond, which is to your right, and the one to your left, which has a lot of water in it, but not full by any means, there's a pipe that goes across. And so what they do is they fill the middle one up, so they don't have to transport the water so far. And then from there, it goes through a pipe underground, probably through here, and ends up over here somewhere where the water comes out. Well, not any to be seen this time around. As you can see, it's pretty dry out here too, but the transfer pipe has no water going across it. But these two stay the same level, it looks like, all the time, in order to expand the amount of percolation that they have going on. The surface area is larger with two of them combined than with one of them. And you can see the pipe over there. That maybe you can see it. There it is. It's not flowing anything, so they feed one to the other, so it's coming into the middle one there. It goes across here, and it ends up at the other one. It doesn't look like any gates are in the middle of it, so I don't think they separate the two of them, but it just flows back and forth. So as one fills, then it turns around and fills the other one. It is a joy to see the ducks being able to use the water still. And they'll even take residency here even if it becomes a little puddle of some sort. But, you know, that's not all that happy of a sight right now for wildlife here, fish and game and everything else. And they start putting some water in, which they might. I'm hoping they do. But it's early in the season. It's only middle of June. And we got July, August, and September, maybe end of October before we might get some rain, generally, at least enough to start doing anything. So let's hope and pray that we do get some water and some rain. We're going to be losing this beauty. A little hard to see, but this looks like a family of ducks, which is nice to see. Most of them are pretty tame, actually, because the number of people that go along on the bike trail here, Los Gatos Creek Trail, which is a very busy place, and a lot of people go walking past on that. But the ducks enjoy it too. They're not on the trail. Their trail is in the water, and so they'll probably stay here until there's a wee bit of drop. If you need to get out somewhere and see a beautiful sunset, Percolation Pits in Campbell is one place to go. I've taken many pictures and videos of the sunsets out here, and the moon when we had that super moon. But you can see that it's not far from anywhere, and it's really beautiful because you don't have there's the buildings in the distance, but they're not as easily seeable. And as you can see, as that sun is not yet set yet, makes for a beautiful picture. And sometimes it's just really nice to come out here and take a look at it and see what it looks like. You might enjoy it. You never know. Give it a try and see. There it goes. It's going down in a nice, beautiful color. We won't see colors today, I don't think, but it's going to be beautiful. So this is the type of water stagnation going on more into August, maybe late July, sometime like that. If you can stand the highway noise there, it's really actually a really nice view. Bring the off for bugs repellent, because there's a lot of bugs that start coming out over here, and you can see all that red there is water. The bugs are in it, and the Canadians love to get into this area too and bob around, but I don't see many of them today over here, so I don't know. They've decided they don't really want to do much of that today. So warm day like today. See, there's the sunset. Again, couldn't be a better place for a beautiful sunset where you have the water that's in the background or the foreground. The water, to be able to see the little more nature than just sunset and trees and a building and concrete roadway or driveway, anything like that. It's a little bit nicer with the water and the reflection. A little bit later, if the wind dies down, we might get pretty good reflection too. There's some more pretty colors that you get. The sun's going to be setting right between those trees there, and you'll be able to see the sunset there. I'll walk on further as I hobble along. I can't really walk much or far, and I have to take rest because otherwise my foot starts to hurt. So, but it's nice to get out and just stop and look. Even the Canadians stop by to take a look at a nice sunset that we get going. But, yeah, and they bark away. As you see the sun start turning color there in the horizon. And well, I got a couple minutes more before it disappears for here. And this is about as flat as it can be into the horizon. It's not going into the mountain or anything like that. So sunset's going to be about the time they say at 8:20 or 8:30 or whatever time it is. Here's some more Canadians out here. This is home to them, and they'll leave in the daytime, and then they'll come back, and you'll see them coming back in flocks, landing on the water, and take up residency wherever that might be. And they go to Vasona Lake to rest at night. Now the sun is setting into the horizon. About a minute more to go before it actually sets. The colors really turn kind of beautiful as it does that. We've seen sunsets before, but out here it's really spectacular because like I say, you got the water, you got the ducks. You can put up with the highway noise. The traffic's not too bad either direction right now. It was all stopped up going to Santa Cruz this morning at 8 o'clock this morning, but it's not bad now. And but give it a little time and it's going to be back, and it's probably backed up coming over from Santa Cruz towards San Jose. There goes the sun. You can see it's just a little sliver of a moon now, and the ducks are even out here looking at it, enjoying it. And the colors really changed. Now you see the reflection. There's not much wind over there on the far side of the pond here, and you can see a reflection, and it actually glows almost like there was a fire in the background. Thank goodness it isn't, but it's really a beautiful sight to see every time, every night. It's beautiful. And the sun is just about, looks like maybe, I don't know whether you can see it in the picture or not, but with the naked eye, it has got about 10 seconds to go, and there it's gone. Now we're going to start seeing Canadians in the river bank of coming from Lexington Reservoir. These guys, it's still water in here, but like I say, it's not moving like it usually is, and there's some guys hanging out around over there. And there's the traffic at 17 as of whatever time it is. It's not flowing too bad, so if you're on your way over the hill or coming back, now may be the time to do that. But I don't know what it's like over by Santa Cruz side or through Scotts Valley. It may be pretty busy. So the sky is starting to kind of turn a little more reddish, as you can see. But isn't that pretty with the reflection though on the water though? Now there's times when I've taken pictures of sunset and it looks like a exact mirror image, and you can't tell where that water line is. Vasona Park, that's a great place to take pictures like that because you can get further away from it, you know. And even at some one point or another, we might get a reflection from the moon. There's the moon. And when it's a full moon, it's going to be an hour later each night. So as it gets fuller, the moon may get a little over half a moon. So about 10 o'clock or so, 11 o'clock. In about 6 days, it'll be full moon probably, but it's going to be well into close to midnight. But that's a good time to come out and look at it too, though, when you get the reflection in the water. It's evening time, and so the Canadians feed then. As you can see them all flocked over there. They're just minding their own business and chowing down whatever they can chow down, and when they finally get a little tired, it gets a little darker, they come scooting over here, and then they'll reside over here. And they're usually in the pathway, you know, and as it gets dark, they're really quiet. They're not making much noise, you know. You hear a quack once in a while, you know. And it's hard to tell the males and the females apart because they look alike. There's some subtle differences, but the taller neck is the male usually, and a slightly larger one, but not by much. But speaking of male and female, let's see, we have our ebony and ivory over here. That's these two guys, black and white. I don't know which one's male and which one's female. The feather going up is usually the male on the tail, and you can see ebony's got a little hook on the tail in the back, so that's probably the male. But you can also tell by when they make noise, because the female is sort of quiet, quack, 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 and the male is more quack, 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 like that. But they're usually in pianissimo, so I can't tell from that. Here's a better picture, ebony and ivory. They're always together. They've been together for a long time, and wherever one goes, the other one goes. They're always following around. Canadians do the same thing too. Their mates are somewhere, I don't know which one's which. And when there's one that's a soul, here's two right next to me. Let's see if we can get a little better shot of those. So there's one that's a male and one's a female probably. And then there's also, but then there's this one here that seems to be a loner. And Lord knows where his or her other half is, but probably around here. They talk to each other by honking, and they recognize each other's voice, so they can recognize who's who basically, or who's not who rather. The one that they like is the one they recognize. The ones that they don't like or don't associate with really, I mean, aside from just being together, flocked together, they don't recognize those, you know. So, yeah. Facial recognition with Facebook and your cell phone and everything's pretty cool, but birds and dogs and cats and everything else have done it, and they can spot somebody, you know, long ways away, and they know who it is instantly, and that's amazing. They're on the run for some food somewhere. There's some people that come out here and very regularly, I think, feed them because they recognize those people, but you can see they're all headed, kind of headed towards the water. That seems to be where they sleep and hibernate or rest at nighttime. And they go to bed when it gets dark and get up when it gets light. So they're up early in the morning before they're going and before most of us are going. They're up at the crack of dawn. Well, guys, that's it for tonight's view. And I gotta go home and lift my leg and let it heal some more. But just thought I'd share some of the nature that we still have going on around here with you. And it's really beautiful. Reflections there, and, you know, it's really nice. So Have a good evening. Good night.